Welcome to the Dollop, a historical podcast. Each week, I, Dave Anthony, tell my friend, Gareth Reynolds, a story from history.
And I have no idea what the topic is.
No, you don't. I messed that one up a little bit, but that's
you
all
said
fine.
my name. It's so nice to hear you say Gareth.
Gary Reynolds.
Yeah.
God, you want to hit a dude?
I'll do one bottle.
People say this is funny.
Not Gary, Gareth.
Dave, okay.
Someone or something is tickling people.
Is it for fun?
And this is not going to become the Tickling Podcast.
Okay.
You are Queen Fakey of Made Up Town.
All hail Queen Shit of Liesville.
A bunch of religious virgins go to mingle
And do what?
pray.
Hi, Gary.
No.
Nicely done, my friend. The year was 1696.
Interesting little time, huh? All right.
Samuel Whittemore was born in Charleston, Massachusetts.
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 Alrighty.
It is amazing that anyone survived from what we know about the world back then.
Well, I will
Right?
agree with that.
Right?
Yep.
Colonial
so
teeth.
already he's amazing.
Yep. He's alive in this time.
But there's not much to talk about until he's 50. At that point, he served as a private in Colonel Jeremiah Moulton's 3rd Massachusetts Regiment, where he fought in King George's War in 1744 to 1748.
Okay.
He served as a captain in His Majesty's Dragoons, a unit of elite British cavalrymen, much feared across the globe for their fierce fighting abilities.
Okay.
That was a war against the French and American Indians, King George's War.
Yep.
I started to read about it, and then I kind of gave up on it because it involved just a lot of fucking countries and people, and I got confused, and I don't have that kind of time for a Smollop.
Fuck them.
So King George's War, the Austrians were involved.
Good.
The Austrians.
Good.
Fighting the French in Canada during the War of Austrian Succession. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who wants to? You want to read more? No.
I continue. My interests are piqued. Don't stop.
Whittemore was part of the British contingent that assaulted the frozen shores of Nova Scotia and clobbered the French at their stronghold of Louisbourg in 1745. He was a cavalry officer and went into battle galloping at the head of a company and emerged from the flames and smoke and ruins of Louisbourg holding a gaudy and over-decorated longsword he had taken from the lifeless hands of a French officer.
Jesus.
Who had, in Whittemore's words, quote, died suddenly.
Right, yeah.
That's all he said.
Well, that'll happen when someone's taking your sword.
He then spent a brief period on board a ship that was hunting for a pirate.
Well,
That's just a great thing
that's
to
just a good,
find.
yeah, that's something you put on the high part of the
It
resume.
also is something that you find when you with a lot of guys that you're looking through history. Any guy who was like fighting, there's always a sentence that goes, and he was looking for pirates.
He was also part-time pirate hunting.
Because they were idiots, Britain returned Louisbourg to the French, who spent years and a fortune rebuilding and rearming the fortifications. Then, in 1758, the British decided to retake and forever demolish Louisbourg during the 7 Years' War,
Okay.
which in the colonies was called the French-Indian War because it was against French and the Indians. Also, it was a 9-year war, so they didn't want to call it 7. Anyway, math.
We've gotten better at naming them, at least.
We were better at math, so
Yeah.
we called it a different name.
We don't acknowledge those 2 years.
Can we call it the 7-year war?
Well, it was 9 years.
No, it's a 7-year war.
Okay. I hate Americans. We figure it's 7.
Whittemore was always ready to drop his farming tools, pick up his weapons, and march off to battle. So he returns to Louisbourg and ruthlessly crushes the French once again.
Just for shits and gigs?
Yeah, and
All
they're
right.
like, let's go fucking do it again. So they go up there, they do it again. Serving under the command, British commander James Wolfe, Whittemore once again ruined the French and stole everything he could get his hands on. He served valiantly, pounding the city into rubble a second time in a bloodbath that would mark the beginning of the end for France's Atlantic colonies. Quebec would fall shortly after, and the French would be chased out of Canada forever. Whittemore remained with the wrecking crew, which I love. He just hung around watching the city get totally leveled. So he's 64.
Holy shit.
He's 64 at this point. And the average death back then is like
Yeah, what is it?
3 or 4. I don't know. Oh, Now he's an old man. How old is he? 4. He's 4.
He's 4. He lived a good life. I mean, I'm 3, so my back hurts as well.
Oh, I'm getting up there.
We're going to have to bury him.
Woo, 3. Don't think I can take it. Lost all my teeth.
Oh, boy.
A year later, Sam marched to war again, this time winding up in Quebec, where he fought for General James Wolfe against French General Louis-Joseph Marquis de Montcalm. And fuck that guy for having a long
De
name.
Montcalm.
In 1763, Ottawa Chief Pontiac,
There we go.
who we got to name a car after,
Yes, the Firebird.
led an uprising in the wild, distant lands that would one day become Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Whitmore was then 68
So what the
and
fuck?
still looking for action.
He's like
Dude liked to fight.
Jack LaLanne.
Are you going to retire? Fuck no.
Fuck no, retire's gonna me. Let's go. What is he doing? Fuck you very kindly. Move, man, move.
The sons and...
What the fuck was I just talking about?
Who are we fighting? Give me a gun, I'll shoot.
That's it, I'll fight you. I'll fight the next guy who doesn't tell me who we're not fighting.
Hold on, I shit my pants.
Oh, boy. The get off my lawn war.
Just spitting out teeth at him. There's another one. Go fuck yourself. His sons and grandchildren were ordered to stay at home and work on the farm. With his crazy decorated French sword and other weapons, Whitmore rode away on a rickety horse. He returned in triumph months later, on one of the best stallions ever seen,
Okay.
and carrying a matched pair of ornate dueling pistols.
Jesus Christ. So where is he going?
He goes to war and he just gets a bunch of shit and he comes back.
All right, we'll see you later.
What's
Bye,
up?
Dad.
I'm 70 now. Look at this shit I got.
Look at this horse, huh? And a cannon, no less. My God, where were you? I don't even remember. I don't remember shit.
I got a laser. What's a laser? I time traveled.
Here's my friend, a dinosaur. I'm 81.
The former owner of the dueling pistols, an enemy officer, had, quote, died suddenly, according to Sam.
darndest thing.
Keeps happening.
Keeps happening.
Every time a guy has nice stuff, that's it.
He dies around me.
After serving in 3 American wars before America was even a country, Whitmore decided to settle down in Massachusetts. So over his life, he married 2 different women, had 8 kids, and built a house. Who knows how many grandkids he had?
Yeah.
You have 8 kids. You got it back then.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
everyone keeps fucking.
Yeah. We're all related to him.
Whitmore proved to be just as aggressive in private life as in war.
I'm excited by that sentence.
During a heated election contest in January 1741, he loudly declared that one of the contestants for public office, the proud Colonel Roderick Shipley Vassall, was no more fit for the office than Sam's elderly horse Nero, whose value he assessed at less than £5.
Nero.
You are as worthy as my horse Nero, who's worth $5. Go fuck yourself.
It's not enough to say that he's as shitty as a horse. You're a bad horse.
Yes. You're a horse that's worth nothing.
You're not a good horse.
The infuriated colonel promptly but illegally had Whitmore jailed. that I love.
That's amazing.
And you're in jail for what? You said bad things.
You should not talk to me like that.
While Sam was fuming in his cell, Vassall sued him for defamation of character. The ensuing trial was a heated and well-attended one, right?
Yeah.
Probably selling tickets.
But
Everyone's like,
yeah.
hey, let's hear Sammy.
Yeah.
Whitmore, who made an admirable witness for himself, won his case. Well, I said it because you're a cunt. So, is that a legal word?
Yes. We, the jury, agree he's a cunt.
There you go. Whitmore promptly sued the arrogant colonel for false arrest. After another sterling performance, the court gave Whitmore the equivalent of $6,000.
Oh, great.
So
Jesus.
He said a guy was as good as a shitty horse
And then
and ended up getting $6,000,
Which is a lot of horses.
which is the best story ever.
Yeah.
If it ended there.
Oh, no.
All of this was before Samuel Whitmore became a national hero.
Okay.
He became famous on a midday in April 1775. The British colonies were tired of King George and decided to go their own way. Samuel decided to fight on the side of the colonies. On April 19th, 1775, approximately 1,800 British troops marched from Boston to Concord to capture a reported store of colonial munitions. At Lexington Green, they were confronted by about 50 militiamen who carried a variety of weapons, some decades old, some manufactured by village blacksmiths and gunsmiths, but all in working order and capable of killing. When ordered to disperse, the Minutemen said, no, we're good. And firing began that resulted in 8 Americans killed. The rest left the scene as ordered by their officers, and the British then reformed their ranks and continued marching to Concord. So the British won that one. Mm-hmm. On their arrival in Concord, where alerted citizens watched their every move, the British troops searched for but did not locate any of the munitions, which were cleverly hidden. Learning that the Minutemen were swarming toward them from as far away as Worcester, and realizing that the munitions were too well hidden to be found without a lengthy search, the British began an orderly retreat toward Boston. Now, this was not easy. Because the colonialists weren't fighting fair, and the British were walking around in bright red coats. Which, by the way, as you can see from Gareth's reaction, still makes Americans laugh. And will always make us laugh until the end of our country. Just walking around in bright red coats.
Yeah.
We're at war, we're at war. And then this guy's in the trees like, okay, ping, ping, ping.
No fair. Excuse me.
You're not allowed to shoot from the forest.
Right, now you're all wearing different things. What are you going for? What's the ensemble?
Like rags or some shit.
Would you like to talk to our tailor? You need some proper war clothes.
So they were constantly harassed by militiamen hiding in the trees and shooting at them.
Jesus.
The worst harasser of all was one Captain Samuel Whittemore.
Here we fucking go. Now, how old?
Okay. He's 80. He's a crazy old man.
So he's
at this
250 in today's world.
Yes. He's like Clint Eastwood in the shitty movie about racism and that El Camino. He's this
80.
crazy old asshole.
80.
Like, ready to fight.
I'm ready to fuck people up.
When the Redcoats came marching back through his hometown of Menotomy,
Sure.
Whitmore was working in his field. He knew nothing of the British invasion and the deaths at Lexington.
Oh, my God.
But he spotted an approaching British relief brigade led by Earl Percy. Whitmore decided he was going to do something about it.
Oh, my God.
So he doesn't even know
He doesn't know
that they've invaded, that there's a war on, but he sees them marching and he's like, well, fuck this shit.
Like, somebody could come up to him after this, probably, and be like, well, we're even with them now. And he's probably like, who were they? What? What do you mean? Oh, they did?
Oh, shit. Did I start a war or was one already going? One was
ki-
already going. Okay, good.
Oh, I didn't even realize they killed... Yeah. No, I knew about it.
Oh, fuck. Whitmore, all alone, positioned himself behind a stone wall, waited in ambush, and then single-handedly engaged the entire British 47th Regiment of Foot with nothing more than his musket. Well, he had a couple other things. He fired off his musket at point-blank range, ending one redcoat gentleman right on the spot. But muskets take 20 seconds to reload.
Yeah, right?
So you get a one-time deal, and he took care of that guy.
Yeah.
So he quickly drew his twin dueling pistols.
Which, again, he was left in an inheritance.
And he removed some poor bastard who died.
Of natural causes.
He shot 2 more redcoats, killing 1 grenadier and mortally wounding a second.
Okay.
Okay, so he's killed 3 guys.
So far, he's just killed 3 guys.
In like 10 seconds, he's killed 3 guys.
And his reasoning is just...
They were there
They were walking a little aggressively for my liking.
Well, if these guys are marching here, they got to be at war.
Yeah, for sure.
A British detachment charged, and that's when Whitmore pulled out his French sword.
Shut the fuck up.
And was
He's
like,
80.
Let's get down to business.
What? Let's get down to business.
Well, I put that in.
Okay. Don't change a thing. Let's get down to business. He's 80.
You've been Whitmored.
He's 80.
The 80-year-old man stood his ground in hand-to-hand combat against a couple dozen trained soldiers.
What?
All of whom could have been his grandchildren. That's how young they were.
You run. If you see this, you fucking run.
Crazy old men are terrifying. Let's
Yes.
put that out there. The crazy old man in your neighborhood is always much scarier than the young guy.
For sure.
They're just fucking scarier.
But here's where I would run. Like,
Yeah.
a crazy old guy shooting people, that probably happens every day in this country.
yes.
a crazy old guy defeating people with a sword. That's where you're like,
Well,
oh
it
boy.
did not end well.
Well, I mean, I would hope it doesn't end well, but it's begun crazy.
Whitmore was shot in the face,
Well, okay.
knocked down, and bayoneted 13 times. Which, by the way, back then, bullets were like monstrous. So when you got shot in the face, it's like being shot with a doorknob. Like, they're fucking crazy. It's not like a little bullet now.
No.
It's like a fucking slug
it's like lead, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So he got shot in the face.
So it's like shooting hurt more. Getting shot.
Bigger holes hurt more. Unless you get shot by an exploding bullet, one of those things.
Well, those, yeah.
So he was credited with 3 kills on the day. The Brits left him for dead, bleeding all over the road, and marched off.
I like that you say left him for dead.
The entire way they had to fight with his fellow militiamen. Their entire march, they just keep getting shot from the fucking bushes, and they don't get off the road, and they keep marching in their little square.
They don't change their fucking clothes.
When his friends rushed out of their homes to check on his body, they found a half-dead old man still trying to reload his weapon and seek vengeance.
Oh, God.
While sitting in a puddle.
No.
of
Put
his
the
own
gun down,
blood.
Grandpa.
No, I'm going to get those
No,
cops.
hold on.
I'm going to get those.
If I could just get a couple more bullets in there. Hey, tell them they forgot something to get it back in the sons of bitches. Get the sons of bitches.
Whitmore was taken to Dr. Cotton Tufts.
Okay, so you have at it. You want it? What do you want me to do? How do you want to do it?
You can have that one.
Okay. What the fuck? And he's a doctor?
He was taken to Dr. Pillow's bed.
You know what you probably need is some tough cotton in there. Jesus Christ. That's all you say. He's dying. Maybe a little cotton in there.
We had a son. What should we name him?
Cotton.
What?
Cotton.
What?
Goodbye!
Hello, I'm Dr. Cotton Tufts. Okay.
All right, get the giggles out. I'm Cotton Tufts.
I get it. Cotton. I got it. I heard it. No, it's not pillow beds. It's Cotton Tufts.
And this is my partner, Will Aggressive.
So he was taken to Dr. Cotton Tufts of Medford, who took a look at him and said, well, this guy's fucked. He's dead. This guy's dead. He's not
Medically
happening.
speaking, he's fucked.
Roll him out in the backyard. It's over. Whitmore disagreed. Samuel Whitmore didn't die. He ended up surviving the entire war.
What?
Finally dying in 1793 at the age of 96.
Shut the fuck up.
Do you know what he died of? Being tremendous.
Yeah, God wanting to meet him.
The first guy to die of being awesome.
He lived after that
He
shit.
got shot in the face.
He got bayoneted 13 times.
13 times. And he's 80.
That's a
Old
guy.
people now at 80 die from falling over.
Oh, yeah.
All
Yeah.
the time.
Oh,
it's like
imagine-
the number one death of old people.
Honest
the
to
number one
God,
cause.
if a man got stabbed, if a man was 80 years old and was stabbed 13 times and he lived, you would read about him in papers.
Oh, yeah. No, without a doubt. In 2005, he was declared an official state hero by the Massachusetts legislature.
In 2012?
2005.
Oh, 2005. Good. We got around to that fast.
Yeah, it took a little while. They built a monument where he had his skirmish. It reads, near this spot, Samuel Whitmore, then 80 years old, killed 3 British soldiers, April 19th, 1775. He was shot, bayoneted, beaten, and left for dead, but recovered and lived to be 98 years old. Suck it.
Yeah.
I don't think the second part's on there, but it should
on there.
be. Shouldn't it be?
And there should be a little more context to it, honestly.
Yeah.
They should really just express that he really just didn't like the vibe and knew nothing. He just was like pretty sure there were British soldiers.
Yeah, he was super anti-vibe. The whole vibe was just not down.
I don't like what your vibe is.
And he's there with his fancy decorated sword.
Well, the truth is, too, the sword and those guns were probably burning a hole in his pocket. He was probably like ready to discharge some of that shit.
He always wanted to kill people. He always wanted to kill people, then they're just walking by his house.
He's 80. He's 80. He's probably like, what else do I have? He doesn't know he's going to live to 91.
And we actually have no idea if he wounded any of those guys with the sword.
Oh.
But you know he did.
He did.
know he got some fucking wax in.
You don't bayonet a guy 13 times if he's not good with it. Like, if you're not like, die for sure.
Right. No, he fucked some people up. He totally fucked some people up. God bless him.
What
Samuel
a
Whitmore.
sweetie.
Yeah. That's a Smollop.
That's lovely. Beautiful.
Anything else?
No.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, that's a little
Get your
early,
shopping done.
Wait.
Yeah, that's early.
Consume.
Consume.
Consume and buy.